The reason I'm talking to you is to congratulate you, all of you who have put together and worked at Sing Up over the last 3 years since its launch exactly this week, 3 years ago. I think it's taken us all by surprise. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles in you. And when you're
my name's Christy Perry and I'm the Associate Head Teacher of a primary school in London, and I'm here today with the music teacher who's also the AST to experience the Sing Up gathering and to hear from all of the other music teachers how it works in their schools.
I'm looking forward to more chat with other area leaders and other people involved in the programme to share the experiences and resources and songs, and just to take lots of things back with me.
All the Platinum schools got together for this session. It's been really interesting to see and hear what other people are doing for their awards journeys and what actually achieving Platinum status has meant to those schools. I mean, I think we're certainly all singing from the same hymn sheet. I found it's been wonderful being with like-minded people. Enthusiasm to me is the key for everything with Sing Up, and it's given me personally such confidence.
Sing Up is really special. It's at the heart of our school, and all the excellent opportunities that come from Sing Up as being part of Platinum School and being a beacon in the area. It's done wonders for the school. It's been an opportunity for pupil numbers to increase, children to be proud and really, really enjoying singing at school.
So singing is important because it enables children to connect with their own sense of self, their own sense of excellence, and also to connect socially with other children and adults. And there's a word, a South African word, Ubuntu, which means that we become who we are through our interactions with other people. And I think singing is a prime example of where that occurs.
Singing is important because it's the essence of who I am. It's the air that I breathe. It's something that has just been part of who I am from a very, very young age. And it's like walking, it's like talking. It can't be defined as this sort of separate thing.
It is a difficult time for the programme. It's coming to the end of its current funding period. Nobody quite knows what's happening next. It could have been a time of great sadness and darkness and a degree of uncertainty, but alongside a realism about the future, I think has been a huge amount of positivity, lots of celebration, lots of positivity about what the future could be, but also about what we've achieved to date, which is, as we look at this together as 300 people, an extraordinary achievement.
I've just attended Mouthful, and it was amazingly liberated. I came from a very classical background where everything was written and notated, and I found the improvisation was amazing and I had a lot of fun.
Would you like to have a wonder still singing and see if there's another song that emerges in your head?
What one of the key things for me is this network that we have, this network of people, and I think that could be one of the things that kind of keeps it going and keeps our focus.
I personally love singing for lots of different reasons. It makes me feel good, it gives me energy, and that's one of the reasons why I like singing with other people as well, because you kind of feed off their own energy and it's nice and it makes you feel part of a group.
Singing is vital. It helps with learning and with social skills. It helps develop children in so many ways. We already knew the power of singing in helping to develop children's musicality, but we also knew that it could help with education, it could help with building communities in schools and beyond the school gates, and it could bring people together. And I think that's the key thing. It brings people together, it brings a community together, which is just what the big society is all about. So we're really quite pleased that they've finally come around to our way of thinking.
It not only gives kids an opportunity to find their voice, it gives those who may not have a voice through their mouth, a voice in other ways, perhaps through signing or through gesture or some other kind of movement or through music technology. So it really does give everybody an opportunity to get involved.
What's so great about singing is that in terms of schools and children, teachers and staff, it's a kind of community glue, a cohesive factor in learning, in education, both socially, intellectually, emotionally. It blends people together in all sorts of ways that I don't think they're aware of until they experience the buzz. It's a joyous occasion. It should happen a lot. It's happening far more because of Sing Up, and it's a great passion of mine that the curriculum should be glued together with lots and lots of singing.
The session was about singing with movement and action, and I will take from it all those lovely songs and actions and movements that I can take into the classroom straight away and teach the children and teach the whole choir and teach the whole school when we do whole school singing.
Well, my favourite Sing Up moment happened to me actually about an hour and a half ago. And I was taking a session on the issue of transition, that is getting children across the big divide from primary to secondary school. And I was doing a lullaby, a Shetlandic lullaby called Baloo Baliri. And at one point I asked all the men in the room to sing on their own, and it was a totally stunning sound. And I got very enthused by this and worked with them for about 5 minutes, and we improved the sound still further. And the sound was so beautiful, I looked around and most of the women in the room were moist-eyed and extremely moved by it. It was kind of funny and touching and moving all at once. But the deeper significance of it is this, that if a group of Sing Up involved leaders can make such beautiful musical music and sing so beautifully, they're going to teach with the same musicality, and our children are going to get that musicality. So that's why I found it a memorable moment.
Cathedrals are clearly part of their community, but through this funding it's enabled the cathedral to reach out with their music and use the skills that have been embedded in cathedrals for hundreds of years and bring it alive in children's lives today, and with wonderful results.
I don't have a favourite memory, it's rather the continual opportunity over the 2 days to see all of the different sorts of people all come together, be music services, be schools, head teachers, national strategic organisations, award schools, community music organisations, etc, etc, etc. When we first started the programme, there were lots of different sorts of people not really understanding each other's languages or how to work together. And now we have 2 full days of people conversing freely, understanding each other and realising they all have exactly the same thing in common.
There are so many people here, and when people arrive at national gatherings, what you don't see is people, deep in conversation immediately. The first thing you see is hugs and catching up personally about things, which tells me that Sing Up is as much about friendships and relationships between people. People who meet together on a human level as well as on a professional level. And I think that means that the networks that we have are really, really strong. And that bodes so well for us for the future, because it's all about the people within our workforce who are going to take this singing sensation forward. And they're all here as part of these 2 days. And you can see quite how deep the networks go based on those kind of relationships that they have.
Sing Up for me, it's been a fantastic opportunity to share my enthusiasm for singing with all sorts of people. Some people who were doing the job already, some people who wanted new material or new ideas, and some people who just needed the enthusiasm to have a go themselves.
It's one of those pieces of music that's just so massively flexible, and I use it all the time. see for an hour and 20 minutes. The other thing is it's wonderful to be on the other side, in general, on the other side of the teaching barrier, if you want to call it that, for a change. So we can be students and we can learn rather than actually giving all the time. And it was so good that I was really tired by the end of the afternoon.
It has helped develop the confidence in particular and sense of belonging for children who are looked after children, or children who've been have particular needs, who are then included more widely in their community and the community of their schools through the work that we've done with Sing Up, and it becomes part of the fabric of their life. So it's like, you know, this is embedded now.
I don't have a single favourite moment. My absolutely most passionately held image of Sing Up, I suppose, is the mixture of the gathering of today, the way when the whole team comes together, you get that indefinable magic that lifts out of the group. The combination of that and the real detail we get in all of the reports of the work that's happening in schools on the ground. So we get these amazingly precise short narratives about individual children who've made extraordinary life journeys because of their participation in the singing programme. And from my vantage point in the consortium, it's the connection between those two things that's really magic, that really precise attention to the development of individuals and the sense of being part of a mass, but without having to lose your identity in the mass, because we are able to account for people's differences here. So it's a theme for me, really, rather than a moment.
Everybody comes to the gathering with their own kind of thoughts about where they are and what it is that they're doing at that moment, and then they walk in the door. And at every single gathering, at some point during the gathering, everyone suddenly sees the big picture. And that can get quite scary. And then on seeing the big picture, we then tie everything up in that nice, neat, pretty bow, so that when everyone leaves, they feel comfortable going back to their own location, their own place, the work that they're doing, with that greater knowledge of what it is they need to do.
I thought back to that point in October 2007, where the area leaders first came here. A small group of 20 people, something like that, and we felt ourselves sort of on the start of something amazing, and all kinds of journeys. We then tagged up with the Chorus Outreach Programme, because they were in Birmingham,
Absolutely.
we were in Birmingham, and two very different sort of cultures of music making coming together, and then they've just grown and grown to the point now where actually we are really genuinely all as one. We're all doing the same thing. We're having an amazing time. We've got such a powerful network now.
Absolutely. And bringing together different sorts of people who lead singing with children in this country, and sharing language and understanding what the other people are trying to say, and then realising actually we all mean exactly the same things, from cathedrals to schools to communities to beyond the mainstream to looks after children. We all want exactly the same thing.
This gathering has summed up the whole of the Sing Up experience for me. It has shown that the workforce we have are an extraordinary bunch of people, that the vision behind this, the right of all children to sing, is such a positive one, and we've demonstrated that everyone believes in that. It's just a case of finding the best way to make it happen and to celebrate it.